Lost the magic numbers, and the magic number is 104.9.
Oh.
XFM. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Right, 2 more shows. 2 are off air for, I don't know how long.
Is that 2 more including this one?
Yeah, no.
2 more after
yeah, no, it's right, this is one, and then there's another one.
Right, 2 more
and that's
shows.
the last one, there's
Okay,
2
right.
more shows, yeah.
Including this one?
We're starting now.
Starting now,
If I'd have said this at the end, it might have been ambiguous,
That was
but I've
why
said
I
it at the
was
beginning, there's 2 hours, that's a whole show,
Right.
so there's 2 more shows.
2 more shows including this one?
Yes, well,
Okay.
obviously.
So 1 more show after
It's
this
only
one.
1:05.
After this show, 1 more.
Yeah, one more, yeah.
Next week there's 1 more show, that makes 2 altogether.
Oh, no, it's only 1 more show. Good night.
Okay.
Now, it better be a good one, Karl. Have we got, Rockbusters?
Yeah.
To win those prizes? Check. Have we got Monkey News?
Check.
Is it a real Monkey News, or is it something that's
is.
slightly made
Always
up that
is.
you... What?
Always is. Check.
Okay, Knob News?
Yeah, we've got a bit of knob news, yeah.
I'm worried that Knob News, because it's only about penises, is a little bit sexist. Have we got any fanny facts? Can we sort that out for next week? I don't want to alienate our female audience.
Welcome to Minge London. Good, I'm glad that's that. Well, brilliant. We got a song with a story?
Yeah, doing that.
What is it?
I don't want to sort of tell you what it is yet, because the song isn't that great, do you know what I mean? It's
good.
not a song
Good.
that's like an XFM song, but every time I hear it on, say, like, Magic or whatever,
Yeah.
I have an argument.
105.4.
Yeah, I have an argument with Suzanne that, you know, what I think it's about, and she says, don't be stupid, it's not about that, and I'll say, no, it is.
And so we're gonna decide who's right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what song you're talking about, and I don't know what the argument is, but Suzanne's right.
Definitely.
No doubt about it.
Well, I'll listen, but I'm hoping that once people sort of listen to it again with my thoughts, every time
Well,
I hear
this
it,
song sums up what people should think of you. It's don't believe a word. Alright? That's the sort of links I'm capable of.
If that was in the back...
Thin Lizzy, don't believe a word on XFM 104.9. I'm gonna miss this show. It's been good.
You won't be the only one.
No, well, you know, so we'll come back again. Yeah, we've got a lot to do over the next few months, but maybe for Christmas or just after. But I still call Karl every day anyway.
Oh, sure.
I called him, a couple of days ago.
Of course you do.
And I went, it was the weekend, I went, what are you doing? He went, oh, just in Regent's Park and that. I went, what are you doing? He said, just going for, he went, oh, Jesus. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. God, it's there, it's wriggling around. I went, sure a bird didn't just drop it. He looked at it and went, oh yeah. There's a bird.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
For a moment he thought caterpillars were raining from the sky.
I thought I was in Chicken Licking.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Why did you think a caterpillar had fallen out of the
I
sky?
don't know, it just startled me a bit.
I love Karl being startled.
I like the idea of him straight on the phone to Trevor McDonald. Look, Trevor, there's caterpillars, insects falling out of the sky. They're falling out of the sky now. Put it on the news, quick. You sure there wasn't a bird? Oh, there was a bird. Yeah, sorry, Trev. Bye.
But it was after, like, I hung up the phone and that from you, I sort of, sat there for a bit watching it.
I imagine him cross-legged, just in front of it.
But do you know
on the
what?
grass.
Because of his shape, the shape of his head, and his sort of IQ, I bet the caterpillar was thinking, Mama.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Go on.
And, it was sort of running about all over the place, right, Steve? So the caterpillars have loads of feet and that, don't they?
Wow! Well, they have 6 legs. They're actually larvae of an insect, so they have 6 legs. But they have little sucker things to hold on to the back of cabbages and that.
No, they've got more than that.
They've
It's
got, I'll
loads.
tell you, they've got 6 true legs. Trust me. Trust me, I'm a scientist.
And you were thinking what, Karl?
Well,
But they've got little pods, they've got little, pseudo pod legs and little suckers, yeah.
But it was running about, like, everywhere, right, mental, but sort of running off to the left, and then it sort of went back to where it was, then back, you know, went right and what have you, and I'm just thinking, whoever gave them the legs, right, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that? Do you know what I mean? If you can get about...
Imagine that sentence. Did you hear that sentence? Can we play that sentence back?
No, I don't think we can.
Imagine who gave him that legs.
Whoever gave him them legs, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that?
And that. Always and that.
And that, but maybe you just, to be fair to the caterpillar, with all its legs, okay, and you know where it was going, it had just been plucked from its house by a bird, shot up into the sky, and then dropped from 80 feet, hitting the ground.
Onto the head of a weird, bald, shaved monkey.
it was probably concussed.
Yeah, it's one of them things again, though.
But it still knew more about the world than you. How does that make you feel?
I just think it's a waste of time having all them feet. It's the same thing as the.
Feet now, it's got feet now.
It has a nightmare buying shoes, doesn't it, Carl?
All the what was it you were saying about leeches and that? Because we were talking about insects.
Well, they're not
just all
insects. They're not insects.
What are they?
Well, I think they're probably class. Probably platyhelminth. Probably sort of like a flatworm type thing.
That's what you were thinking, wasn't it, Carl?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what the phylum is, but they'd be.
What was the leech? What was an interesting?
Well,
leech
there's an experiment where you get a maze for a leech, and there's a bit of blood thing, and it eventually finds its way to the blood. Okay, and then it knows.
Okay.
And if you put it back to where it starts, it knows where it goes straight towards it because it's learnt it. If you liquidise that leech
Right.
and feed it to some leeches who have never done the maze, because of a thing called chemical memory, they find their way straight to the blood.
That is extraordinary.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
We should try that at Hampton Court one weekend. but maybe with some tourists. We'll just blend up some tourists.
All the people on them, I'll tell you who would do it, those people who go on Celebrity Love Island.
Any of them.
They
they'd
will
be
do
happy for it.
anything to get out of it. They will be liquidised. People have enemas, they will do they wank off pigs, they will do anything to get on telly. What about that? Be liquidised and fed to another, get one D-celebrity slapper, liquidise her and feed her to another slut.
So we blend
and see
up
if she
Abby
can
Titmus.
find her way, and see if she can find her way to Channel 5.
Yeah.
What a brilliant show. Hosted by Jimmy Carr.
Of course.
That'd be amazing.
Thinks Better Things on XFM 104.9, Steve Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington.
But do you know this? We were talking about the leech thing.
Sure.
Right. You're saying put them in a blender.
I'm not saying that.
Well, someone did.
Yeah.
Why were they doing that in the first place? Do you know what I mean? How did they find out that if you put leeches in a blender?
I don't know. They probably kept
them to
notes. I
another.
don't know.
No. But what made them? Were they just having a laugh? What made them go?
Was it a party? It was a couple, a couple of 40-year-olds.
No,
They were at a party.
it was a couple of research scientists. They'd been given £1 million, and the boss was coming round to say, "What are you doing?" And they were just making a smoothie, and they went, "Quick,
See,
Mr.
this
Yakamoto's come round, throw in some leeches." What are you doing? Just leeching.
Just feeding these leeches to some other leeches. Alright, well that looks like science, I'm off.
Well, that's what they,
Here's another £1 million for next year.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
that's how they work, though, isn't it? A lot
Yeah,
of these
that's
scientists.
exactly how they
No,
work.
I'm
That's
just
it.
saying they're getting away with murder.
Go on.
Well, just the way they do sort of spend.
And
loads
you
of time.
can't say anything in front of him because everything's got a point with him. You can't have a conversation with Carl because he always puts in a curveball. You tell him something, and the question comes back that you never could have expected. When I told him that story about the monkey who'd run away because he had an argument with his father, he said, "What was it about?" Now, no one in the world thinks that. No one in the world would ask that question.
The leech thing. Do you know how you said show the leech the way to its better food, whatever it's eating, or whatever,
Yeah.
in the maze, right?
Yeah.
It makes its way,
Yeah.
right? It eats the cheese or whatever. Right? Blood, right? And then you give it.
Everything's a cartoon with Carl as well, isn't it? Everything is a cartoon.
It's a leech with a little hat and a little baby bell at one end.
But what happens if you got another one and
Yeah.
move the bit of blood?
Yeah.
Right? So feed those two leeches to one. Then what? So is it going to get confused, or do you know what I mean? Which way will it go if it's eaten two leeches
Yeah.
that have done two different ways?
Yeah.
Is it sort of stressed out?
I don't know. I don't know. It probably knows both routes. It probably goes, well, there's one over here. Oh, there's one over here as well. I'm happy. I've had two for the price of one.
Right,
and,
okay.
I'm full of leeches.
Then what's the best that can happen for?
I
Like,
don't. What are you talking about? What do you want
because
out of me?
I'm just saying, if by doing that, they can go, right, we can do this. We're humans. I'd go,
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean in the name of Christ?
do it with
What do you
humans.
mean?
all I'm saying is, what's the point in doing it?
Think. What do you mean?
If you could do it with humans, I'd say.
But
well,
what? Right, Carl. Think about what you're saying, man.
Yeah, I'm saying.
If you could do it with humans, do what with humans?
Say if Einstein, right, didn't do all that maths that he did, right? Say if he got to E equals and then he died. Squash his brain, give it to someone else, say, right, eat that, and they go, right, it's E equals MC squared, isn't it? What I'm saying is...
But they wouldn't. They'd go E equals, wouldn't they? If it was chemical memory, they go, oh, E equals... Oh, yeah, same as Einstein said. Yeah, I just ate his brain. What am I saying? What have you made? Carl, think what you're saying. It's unbelievable. The thing is, right, you are what a scientist does. You just keep saying why, and what, and why, and what. But nothing's ever enough for you. Which is good. It's nice to have an insatiable...
I get annoyed with all the amount of time and effort that's put into stuff that's useless. What's the next stage to squashing that leech? If it's not going anywhere, forget it, work on something else. It's the same way in some science magazine I was reading about, is there anything smaller than a quantum electron or something?
Yeah.
It's like, if it's not getting in the way, don't worry about it. Why are they worrying about things we can't see?
If you blended up Carl's brain and fed it to someone, would it make any difference?
No,
they wouldn't even notice, would they? Wouldn't register.
You put it to a leech, the leech would go, oh, I don't know what I was doing, I don't know what... Where was I going?
I'm even more confused.
I don't know. Talking of leeches, did you see the dregs that they put into Big Brother last night?
I've not been watching it.
It's bad enough anyway. It's a house full of people you wouldn't cross the road to save, right?
Yeah.
But there's they've put in 3 more to spice it up a little bit. They've put in a low esteem model.
Sure.
Right? They've put in Mr. Bean, who is the whitest man I've ever seen. I mean, it's like a new race.
Yeah.
He's nearly see-through. And this thing that looks like Matt Lucas in a bikini.
Wow.
Unbelievable. The fat things on her back, I thought she was coming towards me.
Really?
It was unbelievable. And the first thing she said, she went in, she looked in the mirror, adjusted herself and went, oh, me minge!
Oh.
That's the level, it's
Do these people have relatives? Is there anyone in the world who knows them, claims to be a friend of theirs?
Families.
Do they have family there, or the family just... have they just moved away?
No, their family are probably quite proud of them, because they're on the telly. It's probably like, saw your daughter last night saying, oh, me minge on the telly. Yes, she was on the telly, wasn't she? Yes, she was on the telly. What about the bit about oh, me minge? She got one out immediately, went, got it out, lobbed it out. It's unbelievable. It looks like an experiment.
I can't watch it anymore. It's just too much now. Because I can't relate to those people in in the first series. I always remember it seemed like a genuine social experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
There was intrigue, there was drama.
Yeah.
It was genuinely great hypnotic television.
Now it's like putting ants in a jar and shaking it.
I don't know but even now I couldn't watch that once a night every week.
No, I know.
It's just.
It is unbelievable that what people are willing to do now on the time, because they've just put in people. It's unbelievable. It really is. You don't care about anyone. But I suppose what's good is that I think you watch it now because you want one of them to fall over and hurt themselves.
Yeah, or just choke on a chicken bone. And no one else in the house knows the Heimlich manoeuvre.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, feed them more chicken. Send in more roast chicken. So we got a wonderful celebration for you.
The Senses by Feeder on XFM. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Alright? How you doing, Carl?
I'm alright, yeah.
Another holiday?
Well, it wasn't holiday. Wasn't holiday.
Well, it was. You had 5 days off work. Why isn't it holiday? You had 5 days not working for a living. You know how many days holiday gets a year now? 29.
Oh. That's more than teachers, isn't it?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Well, I know the kind of hours you work, Rick. It's mad. I mean, if you're not in work by midday, you're furious.
No, but I mean, I'm always...
29's normal. For the normal working person.
Yeah, but, you know...
And anyway, it wasn't a proper holiday. I went to see my mum and dad. It's nice to see them and everything, but it's not holiday, is it?
Why?
It's not going away. It's not getting on a plane, is it? Going away.
Oh, is that definitely a holiday? What happened before 1950?
I don't know.
Who used to go... Yeah, exactly. People used to go to Blackpool, Brighton. That was holiday.
Yeah, but I didn't
Where did you go?
Went to Wales.
There you go. Lovely holiday. Lovely holiday. Have a holiday in Wales. That's what they say, innit? Come to Wales and have a holiday. That's what they say, innit? So come to Wales and meet your parents. Come to Wales and have a lovely holiday.
Right. Well, anyway, it was good and that. It's always good to see him.
Yeah.
But,
week off work.
Do you know, like, my mum likes gnomes and stuff?
Yeah.
Right,
of course she does. She's lived with one for 30 years.
She said, get your dad to take us to this park where they've got, 6-foot gnomes and stuff, right? Have a walk about.
Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. Sounds like a living nightmare.
Keep an eye on Carl.
Yeah.
So anyway.
He stood still for 2 minutes, someone bought him.
No, you can't buy them and that. It's like a little exhibition thing,
Yeah.
right? And it's part of a hall, right? This big hall that you have to pay to get in, but we didn't want to see the hall, I just wanted to see the gnomes.
Of course you did, yeah.
So anyway, my dad says, yeah, well, we can get in there for free.
Of course he did.
Clever.
Right? So we parked up on this little country lane, right? No one about. We
How
walked
much
down,
was it to go in? Like £2?
about £3 each.
Yeah.
But he said, well, yeah, but if you don't have to pay, do you know what I mean? You enjoy it even more, don't you, when you're walking about and you think, I've got this £3 in my pocket, no one's having it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, looking over shoulder for a bloke with a peak hat saying, can I see your ticket, please? I wouldn't enjoy it more, no. Go on.
Yeah, but you don't worry about it. do
You
you?
got a bit of money now then, Rick. You know, you've changed.
So anyway, so we had to walk across about 4 fields.
For £3!
Right, and what happened was we're walking through all these fields and what have you, big grass and muddy bits and all that 'cause it'd been raining, and climbing over fences and stuff. And we're in this field, right? And I look to my right, and there's about 30 cows all staring at us, right? And Suzanne started to panic a bit. She said, we shouldn't be here. Dad says, of course we can. We're allowed to go wherever we want. You know, all this land, it's ramblers' rights and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so you can take a cow if you want,
so,
unattended.
So
So it's right for leaving him in the field unattended. I'm having one.
Yeah.
so
keep us fed for a week.
across. Anyway, these cows start surrounding us.
Surrounding us.
And,
Oh, brilliant.
Oh no.
Face off.
and Suzanne's panicking, going, "This isn't right. We're not going to make it to the fence in time. They're moving faster than us." And they started sort of running a bit.
Wow.
And
It's like
Dad
some
was
kind of
like,
bovine West Side Story.
"Don't
A gang of cows coming at you.
don't worry about it and stuff." But my dad had to sort of stand there and like wave a stick at him.
Of course.
And we got away, but Suzanne was like having a bit of a sweat
You
on,
got away.
and saying, we could have got killed.
Sure.
And my dad saying, "No, it never happens." And I just wondered if it does, if there's a risk of.
Yeah, it is rare, but there's been a couple of cases of being trampled by cows. They're not aggressive. They sort of run through you. Well, they're aggressive if they've got a calf.
They don't have kids.
What?
They had kids with them.
Kids, yeah. That's goat you're thinking of. Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to sneak into the gnome thing, and they were worried that, like, if too many people did it, like, they thought some cows, we can just sneak in
They
where
were
cows,
trying, yeah.
no one's expecting cows.
And the
but
cows
some
were going,
humans.
walk upright like a human. Don't walk upright.
They thought you'd blow their cover.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been killed by cows before.
Yeah, that was like the highlight, and then
So when you arrived there, you were presumably covered in mud, looking like something that had just come from Glastonbury, staggering around this exhibition.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like a woods, and it had like a funny sort of funeral, like a graveyard thing,
Right.
with bodies sort of hanging out the ground and that, and we had
What?
these 6-foot gnomes,
Right.
and then we just set off again, walked back. But we didn't
Sure
have to
this
go to
wasn't
the
a
funeral.
dream?
No, it was good. But then I got back, right, Steve, and called up Ricky. I said, right, are you about? Have a chat and that. So he said, oh, just come round. It's a nice day. Have a drink and what have you. So I got round there at about 6:30, right? Go up to his door, knock on his door, right? He stood there with his tackle out.
Oh. Yeah, and what did you make of that? What was wrong with that?
What do you mean, what's wrong with that?
Why were you
it was
looking at
odd.
it? Why
was
were you
odd.
looking at it?
I tried not to look at it. But again, you're always sort of attracted to it, aren't you? Kind of like,
I've never been attracted to another man's tackle. I don't know what you mean.
you can't help but have a little sly look. Well, especially when it's there. When you ring the bell, and I mean the one on the door, right? And that's hanging out.
And does he dress to the left or the right?
It was to the left, right?
Yeah, it was left, yeah. Just popped out of my shorts for him. Just popped him out of the shorts.
Should have seen the state of him. Shorts on, no top, cigar. Looked like someone out of The Sopranos. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then,
We sat on the balcony drinking wine, didn't we?
Did you pop it back in, or was it still
Yeah, I
out at that
popped
point?
it straight back in. I've got the laugh.
Sure.
I've got the laugh I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
He walked in, he went, it's not that hot. Straight away, it's not that hot. Oh, brilliant.
And then,
was that knob news, or is there more?
no, it's got more knob news.
That's just a
on there.
taster.
Just a taste.
Listen, let's
Right.
play some average, let's play some great music, and maybe we should have some early knob news.
Early knob news coming up. Ended by Ben Folds on XFM. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
We've had a couple of emails, Rick, saying that there have been reports of people actually being killed by cows.
Yeah.
So it is actually quite a lucky escape for Karl and his family.
The worrying thing about that is it's tragic, and anyone dying unexpectedly, it's terrible. But what makes it worse is when it's something like being killed by cows, because there's a slight, I mean, a slight humour aspect.
Yeah.
Being, how were you killed by a cow?
Yeah.
You know, like for example, if you were killed by a falling safe,
Yeah.
the vicar might laugh.
Yes.
That's my worry.
Yeah, well, I read a story in the paper of a man who fell out of a window and died. He fell out of he was like a third-story window and he fell out. But it was slightly amusing because at the time he was mooning.
I know.
For a laugh, he was mooning someone and he fell out.
I know.
So when he fell, like, even though it was tragic, he obviously had his trousers around his ankles and his arse out.
I know, the thing, there was a kid who died, got hit by a truck mooning. But you know,
Yeah.
the worst thing about that is, it's not funny enough to be killed for.
No.
Mooning isn't funny enough.
No, it's just not a good enough gag.
Do you know what I mean? It's a witless sort of thing to do, and
Yeah.
then to be killed for it.
If you'd
it's
just done a 2-hour impromptu Eddie Izzard style, you know,
Yeah.
routine, and then you got
I know.
tragically killed, that would sort of make sense.
but doing something that's a little
Mooning,
bit-
it's almost karmic, because it's such a bad joke.
Yeah,
it's like in
exactly.
some weird universal karmic way. It's like, if you hadn't been mooning, maybe you wouldn't got killed.
I know.
If you hadn't done such a lame joke, maybe you'd be okay.
Yeah, but that's it.
But there's lots, you don't want to be walking along, you don't want to be walking through the garden and stand on a rake, and it flips up.
And it hits
with
you
a
so hard.
And it's like a boing noise as it
Yeah,
hits
and
you.
it hits you so hard that it kills you.
It kills you, yeah.
Or
Or you fall out of a window and a cactus goes up your bum. You
I
don't
know,
want
you're
that.
killed by a
It's-
cactus up the arse. I know.
A cactus
Or
up
you're at a concert and a fat woman stage dives.
Yeah.
And she just
Lands on
squashes
you,
you.
yeah.
How did he die? He was squashed by a big hefty...
Mama Cass just jumped on him.
Just big fat woman squashed him to death.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Tell you what though. Right. Talking of fat women.
Go on.
I'm not having a go. But did you see Michelle McManus on?
Oh, man alive.
Yeah.
You are what you eat. What has she eaten? Girls allowed. Look it out. It was unbelievable.
No, but to be fair, you know, she
Did
did
you
eat
see her
it.
in her bikini? What about?
Yeah, well, yes, but she was always a little bit...
Yeah, but just a little bit.
Well, no, she eats too much, right? But what I did like about it was that she had a go, you know, she did lose
Fine
her...
hard and that, yeah.
Huh?
I quite liked her at the end of it, really.
Yeah,
She's
was...
not an unpleasant woman. She's a lovely woman. But, I mean, like I said before, there was that interview in Heat magazine where she, you know, I tend to eat 11 packets of Doritos a night.
Yeah,
11 I mean,
yeah,
come on, Michelle.
that's too much, isn't it?
Unless you're trying to win some kind of competition, like trying to find some kind of, you know, a golden ticket in one of the packets, there's no excuse.
What could you possibly be trying to win to eat those every day?
But it's not. It wasn't her who annoys me. It's that doctor in it. That woman. She does me head in.
Yeah.
I can't be doing with her the way.
Well, you know, she's not actually officially a doctor, is she?
No, and her bedside manner's not very good either.
No,
it's like the fear tactic that I think you want a little bit of...
And what does she look like? I mean, she doesn't look like the sort of peak of health. She's got
No,
that
no.
weird sort of witch-like crone
Well, it
face.
can't be
know.
good for you hanging about all that poo all the time. She's always delving into that every other day. I used to be told, you know, don't mess about with dog poo because it can make you go blind.
Yeah.
She's constantly at it,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
rummaging through it, and it annoys me the way it's like, you know, well, let's have a look at your poo. Let's see if you're eating the wrong types of food. The person's about 33 stone.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't need to look at that. It's just wine. And I'll tell you the thing that, I mean, I've never had it done anyway, right? But the colonic thing.
Did Michelle have that? I didn't see it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had that done. And they're showing it, she sat there sort of lying down. She's like, oh. But I don't understand why people have that done anyway, unless you are sort of bunged up.
Yeah, or you've got a cactus up there.
Or,
Yeah.
but the other thing is like the way, like it's a clear tube. Why do you need to, you know what I mean? Why do you need to see what's whizzing past? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's some sort of generation game. You've got to remember
You've
what's
got to
going
remember
past.
everything, then you win a prize.
Why can't they just look at it in the bucket after and go, right, yeah.
Well, why look at it at all? Why do you need to look at it?
Well, it's,
Out of interest, isn't it?
see what's come out. I don't know.
So yeah, that's where that went. Oh, that's why I've been looking for that. Remote control.
How does it work? I don't want to go into graphic detail, but they just send water up there, don't
No,
they?
caffeine.
Caffeine?
Yeah, so it's like it's like a gallon of coffee
Wow.
that goes up there, and it wants to come out immediately, obviously. And then it percolates.
But when did that happen? How did someone sort of go, tell you what you want to do?
I think it was first invented on distraction. To win a car. I don't know, do I? I suppose they thought there's stuff up there that's not coming out. It's for, you know, they find things up there.
though, isn't it?
They did that thing that they find things up there that they swallowed when they were 5 and that, don't they?
Lego bricks and stuff.
Exactly, yeah, marbles. But I mean, meats and things can stay in there. You know, it gets caught in a little recess in your 30-foot of tubing, and it doesn't come out.
Talking of meats, I saw an advert on the way in today. Question to both of you: who eats pepperami?
I don't know.
Have you ever eaten a pepperami?
It's disgusting.
I've never seen anyone eating a pepperami, buying one. I've never heard anyone say delicious pepperami earlier. I don't associate it with anyone. I've never seen anyone eat
when
one.
you think what is it, just sort of like curdled, salty. It's sort of like oh, do you want to try a big long blood bogey?
Yeah.
I won't. No, it lasts forever. Oh, that's scary then.
Yeah.
You just keep it.
It's like
keep it under your couch. It'll be just as nice in a year's time.
It does look like something you'd find down the back of the oven when you were cleaning out. One of those Gordon Ramsay documentaries.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But because I always associate it's pepperami and it's the those nutrition drinks, which are it looks like a dog food tin. I think it's just called something like nutrition or Nutri drink or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you always see some empty ones on a brick wall near a council estate.
Oh, right.
Which I think the only people who eat them are homeless people.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to say it's bodybuilders.
No, it's because you buy these, you can see them in regular newsagents. It's not a bodybuilding
I don't believe a homeless who's just got a quid from the guess who runs in and buys an isotonic Nutri
No,
drink.
it's not isotonic. No, I think it's basically if you don't want to eat a meal because you're too high on smack, it'll give you as much as you can possibly need just to keep you alive until your next hit.
And tell me, Steve, doesn't Special Brew do that? Or am I barking up the wrong tree with that?
I don't know.
Because they seem to be getting a lot of nutrition
But it
from
seems to me
Special Brew.
that the people who make Special Brew now, they've just resigned to the fact that it's only homeless people who are drinking it. It's like, well, we may as well just market it chiefly at them.
What's the advertising? Takes the edge off when you can't find smack.
Yeah. Are you trying to sleep on Tottenham Court Road? World, XFM 104.9 with Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, and it's knob news time. We're all very excited. Now, last week's knob news was what, Karl? Do you remember it was a man
who grew a knob on his arm?
Sure.
No, he didn't grow it there, did he? He put it there.
Well, I know that, but, yeah.
Just popped it on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a recap of the week's news. Right now it's the headlines.
Well, we've talked about it before. Do you know the little mouse that had an ear on its back?
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Well, you thought he had a bad time, right? Listen to this one. Mouse walking about with us sort of wearing a monkey's testicle. They're just having a laugh. This is what I mean about a lot of scientists. What are they doing? When's that going to come in handy?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, they were seeing if, say if a fella loses one, right?
Yeah.
Hitler or whatever. And they go, well, don't worry about it, we can sort you out. I don't know what the monkey's going to do. Not if they keep passing them on or whatever. But the actual monkey testicle was put on the mouse. And it worked. It worked for the mouse.
But isn't it? I mean, isn't a monkey's testicle quite large in relation to a mouse? Would it not look like the mouse was on a space hopper or something?
Oh yeah, it didn't look good.
Well, they didn't put it where its testicles would be.
No, they did.
But they put it. Well, how could it walk then? The ear was on his back, so he could just get about.
Well, I don't know. But
you don't know, do you? You just guessed. Did they grow the monkey's testicles where the mouse testicles would?
Well, it looked stupid anywhere else, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, whereas a mouse with monkey testicles, that's fine.
Oh, you'd be showing off. You'd be alright. I'd prefer that than the ear.
When that mouse gets put back in with the other mice, do the other mice go, George, you look different. Have you had anything done?
But the weird thing is, as well, apparently it still works as a monkey.
What?
So, like,
what are you talking about?
Like the sperm and that was, it was still sort of monkey
Of course
sperm.
it was. What are you talking about?
But that's weird.
But what, Karl? What do you? It's only a thing to give it nutrients. That's all the thing they're testing. It's like grafting at that level. Right. What's your question? Because I'm right. What do you think? It would change eventually. It would have changed into a mouse testicle because it had been hanging round a mouse for so long.
No, I thought the actual sperm of it though would be a mouse's.
Why?
Because it's hanging off a mouse.
No, but your sperm is actually created in the testicles.
So
that's why it has to be outside your body. Otherwise, we put them in a nice little cage.
But I'm guessing then that they've done this operation so that they can do it to humans. Yeah? Why would I want a monkey testicle if my kids are gonna be monkeys? What use is it?
No, think. That's no.
That's going to happen anyway, Carl.
No, yeah, but think. Think of what you're saying. They've grown a monkey testicle on a mouse to see if it would still function as a monkey's testicle, okay? So they can do that to humans. So think, Carl. What they'd do is, they'd grow a human testicle on a mouse, and it could still be used as a human testicle.
So what?
To give you a testicle that you've lost.
From a mouse?
No, from another person who it was kept alive on a mouse. Because it's kept the nutrients alive, as opposed to keeping it in a deep freeze. Maybe bollocks go off after a week. I don't know. Maybe they get accidents. He had a little a card. Do you donate your testicles? Yeah, I'll tell you what. No one needs testicles yet. Let's keep them on a mouse. You have yours ripped off in some sort of bizarre skiing accident. You go, well, you go in a Battersea Dog Town. You pick the ones you want. They can grow them on anything. They can grow them on a Dachshund. Bulldogs are growing them usually, that's where you see a bulldog. Usually that's waiting for an operator. What don't you understand, Carl?
Hang on a minute. I thought this was knob news, not testicle time. I don't understand what...
Yeah, this testicle time's not for another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's all sort of linked and that, though, isn't it?
Well,
sometimes it's linked to a mouse.
But what do you think about, like, I don't know, testing stuff out like that? Is it worth it? Could you not just go straight from...
But listen, Carl, I'm getting this information from you.
No, if
this was on Question Time and someone said there were, Dimbleby and Paxman or whatever said it, I'd think about it as a moral dilemma. You've just said you saw a mouse with a monkey testicle. What do you think of that? I don't think anything of it. I don't think anything of it is the answer, Carl, because I can't trust the info. I cannot trust anything that comes out of your mouth.
Well, it's true, but it's just all this... It's the same thing, innit? It's the leeches in a blender. It's the fella looking at an electron.
Yeah.
It's the mouse with an ear on its back.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point is.
But you don't read on. Because I've seen you read somewhere, and you're going, look at that. Man survives on eating knee. And I go, what else? You go, I didn't read on. I didn't read on.
You look at the mouse with the ear on the back, and you just think, that must be murder at a concert. You don't think. You don't think.
No, I just think, is it worth sort of wasting
You think he swallowed someone's ear? He gnawed it away and swallowed it, and it's just in his system?
Yeah.
No, I just get a bit sad about the mice and...
I agree. I mean, that is sad, yeah. Of course, anything like that is awful.
But saying that, I remember ages ago, they have a load of people on Oxford Street. Don't know if you've seen them, where they get you to sign stuff.
Yeah.
And the woman got annoyed with me, right, because she was saying about, drugs with animals, testing them out, and stuff like that, which is bad.
Yeah.
And I was saying, yeah, it's really bad, and I was looking at the pictures and that. But I said, what would happen, if like, the drugs, aspirin, and the monkey's got headache, is it such a bad thing? She got annoyed, didn't want to listen anymore. It's a good point, though, isn't it? At what point is it cruel to test stuff out and things?
Yeah.
Give it some Nurofen. It's happy.
Yeah, well, I bet that mouse had, headache. Because everything must have been loud. The other mice squeaking must have done its head in.
Yeah.
Oh, that would give him a Nurofen.
Turn that radio down.
Give him a Nurofen, please.
But listen, are we going to get Rockbusters out of the way quickly?
Go on then, quickly.
Might as well do it. It's not going to take long, is it? Right then. So, 3 clues and that.
Yeah.
Initials of a band and artist.
Yeah.
You can win some stuff. Steve can go through the...
Ladder 49 better be in there.
Oh, let me check.
Just quickly...
It's Ladder 49.
You get on with those clues and I'll tell you what's happening.
And this is the last time. The winner of this...
No, we'll do it again next week.
Oh, is it? And then there'll be 6 people, and we just draw someone out of a hat to win the signed Homer, the Nigel Tufnell, and the Us as Flanimals.
Right, you ready then?
But they've got great prizes. They've got Alias, they've got
Alias, they've got The Aviator, a Batman cartoon series, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, atrocious film, and Ladder 49, there it is.
Brilliant.
It's in there.
Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta. Their greatest challenge lies in rescuing one of their own.
Brilliant. Go on then, Carl.
Right, the first one then. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. How can that work? What's going on there? The initials there. I-H. Right? It's a band or an artist or a singer. Something like that. I-H. They're the initials. The clue.
I've got it.
When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. Right?
I've got it.
Right then. Well, don't say anything. Works, doesn't it?
No.
Second one, that garden tool, it's not yours. What are you doing with it? Right?
Yeah.
That garden tool you're messing about with there, it's not yours.
Yeah.
Give it back.
What's that?
ND. Right? Artist or a band. What's going on there, right? Third one, that male sheep sounds fed up. Why is he fed up? Right? TR's the initials. That male sheep sounds fed up. What's going on? If you know the answers to them three, email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, or you can text in 83XFM. Right?
Great prizes. You can win yourself a copy of Ladder 49.
Foo Fighters. Best of You on XFM 104.9. Alright, Carl, you calm down now about science.
It just does me head in, a lot of this stuff. I think I would have been better off sort of growing up in the 1940s or something.
Why?
Where there isn't as much science going on, people just lived, didn't they, for the moment.
So
You know what I mean?
what about if you'd had to go to war?
What?
What if
Alright,
you-
maybe 1945, then I'd be happier. Just after the war. Just that bit after the war and before they started
What
messing
age?
about.
What year would you want to be born?
When was the war over?
45.
Right. 46 then.
But there'd be
Born
rationing.
46.
There's rationing for another 10 years.
56 then.
But there's a lot of science going on. It's
Oh,
56.
forget it. It just annoys me, all the messing about. They're always messing about with stuff, and I sometimes think, is it doing any good? Is what I mean. Mouse with ears, mouse with monkey's testicles. They're messing about with a mammoth now.
Go on.
Well, they're just saying, well, they're managing to knock one together.
Who
And you
asked?
just think, some scientist somewhere again, just messing about.
Andy.
No, but it's just, I mean, we've done it before about the do we need them thing. The amount of creatures and insects and that are knocking about. You got that caterpillar that I mentioned walking about, it doesn't know where it's going. Get rid of them. The mammoth. The world's busy enough, it's crowded, it's overcrowded now. How much room are they going to take up? Do you know what I mean?
Why are they doing it, Carl? Do you know? All you know is that they're trying to muck around with
Because they can, because that's all it is, isn't it? Because they can. They're messing about. Someone's
Yeah.
being paid to do stuff.
What else are we here for? If not to try stuff out. What else are we here for?
What do you mean?
Well, what are we here for?
Just to enjoy life, isn't it?
Well, some scientists enjoy knocking a mammoth together.
No, but don't worry about the mammoth. It died out. Maybe it died out for a reason. Why didn't Noah save it if it was important?
Because Noah, what do you mean? Noah's not true, is it?
Well, I don't know. There might have been some truth in it.
What truth in it? That he put 2 of every animal that existed into an ark. How big was this then? Why didn't they eat each other?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying.
Imagine the noise, Carl.
Yeah.
No,
Trying to get a bit of
there's-
kit there.
There's points to that where I go, that didn't happen, because where could he have been where there was a hamster and an elephant and a crocodile? Where was he? Do you know what I mean?
But none
I'm
of it's
saying,
true. What bit do you believe?
What do you mean?
It got a bit wet.
What are we talking about? The mammoth or the...
No. What is up with you?
No, it's just that we had a
No,
lot...
seriously, have you got brain damage?
No, it's just that we had a lot of topics going on there. I just don't know which...
No, we were talking about Noah. And then you suddenly go, I know it was, where did we, what, the mammoth or Noah, what? What you did, none of it's true. What, think of it. Oh, God. Think of the first thing. Build an ark. Alright.
Can I just clarify, what's an ark?
It's a big boat thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never had any experience of
Just
carpentry.
build a big boat thing.
But I don't make...
Just have a go, don't worry, you'll be alright, I'll make
Right.
sure it's alright.
But once I've built that, I mean, how big should I build it? What am I
Very big, needs every animal, 2 of every
let's
animal,
not be
go
fair.
on, every
I'm
animal.
in the boat building, fair enough.
I told you to make it big.
Right.
Don't worry about the fish, they can swim.
Okay, but so
All
what's
the
the thing?
birds.
Like,
Get the flightless ones though, they're drowned. Get the flightless ones, they would, not the penguins, they're flightless but they can swim. But all other animals...
I should be writing this down.
But why? I mean, wouldn't you have took that opportunity to go, right, forget the, whatever. Man, the jellyfish didn't need to get in it, did it? But there's other animals where you can
We
go,
don't need to be here.
No.
Because Karl is actually having a little argument with his own head. It's like, you remember that comic strip, The Numbskulls?
Yeah.
Where there's loads of people in there doing different stuff, that he can hear them.
Yeah.
And sometimes his own mind puts him off.
Yeah.
Like just then, he has an argument with himself and it puts him off. Right, what's your question?
I'm just saying, don't mess about with a mammoth.
Whoa!
Good.
Okay.
Well, what a platform. It's good. You know, we've got a radio show, we've got our own radio show. People are spending money to advertise it. People are actually bothering to listen. And the words of wisdom coming out of your mouth is don't mess around with a mammoth.
Brilliant.
Great.
No, but just going back to.
You sound just like Bob Geldof.
I can't be bothered with this.
He's trying to say.
What can't you be bothered with?
Just because I think I've got a good point.
What? Don't mess around with a mammoth.
That's not
anything.
the point.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, missing word. Well, what are you talking about?
It's just that I think there's too many animals knocking about. I mean, I know you love your cat and what have you. Waste of time, though. What do they do?
Well, they frighten you.
Well, yours is mental, though, isn't it?
He's sitting there, and the cat right behind him, and he nearly shut himself.
Well, your cat is crazy. It does go for it. It loves. Because it's got claws, big old claws.
Of course they have. It's a cat.
Yeah, but no, most cats don't come leaping at your ghoulies every time you sit down with a lovely warm hot cup of tea.
Aren't they pointless, though, Steve?
Well, I've always had a problem with pets generally. The idea of
But
pets.
cats the most. I was saying to Ricky about, I don't know why, out of all the animals that Dick Whittington could have took with him on his journey.
Again.
Forget the cat. Forget it. What's he gonna do?
Okay, you've got to walk to London because the streets are paved with gold. You can take any animal. What do you take?
It wouldn't be a cat because it would keep wandering off. You do double the distance. Trying to get it back. Come here. They don't listen to you. I can't be dealing with them.
I agree that you don't get enough affection back from a cat. A dog, it loves you, it can't get enough of you. But cats, they're very snooty.
Well, they're cool, aren't they, cats? They're cool, independent. I like dogs as well. I like all animals. What would you take with you?
What if I was Dick Whittington?
Yeah.
And where's he walking from? Like,
I don't know. Wasn't it Bristol to London or something? I don't know. Again, it's a bit hazy. This isn't well documented.
But couldn't he? I mean, why is he taking a pet and not a mate who? I'm not interested. I try and learn, and you don't help.
The new Amy Mann album, The Forgotten Arm, it's called She Really Wants You. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Talking about technology sometimes being a waste of time. Yeah. You know, when you came round the other night, before you came round, I'm sitting there, just at the computer. It's a hot day, wasn't it? As you know, I was in my shorts. I was tucked in. I didn't get them out till you came round. Just my own business. Jane got some wax strips, and she went, "Oh, let me just do your back." I went, "No. Right? I haven't got a hairy back. I've got a couple of wispy hairs on my shoulders, probably about 20 either side. Nothing to worry about. It's not like I look one of those people that's like a gorilla on the beach."
I assume your back looks a little bit like Karl's head.
Exactly, yeah. And she went, "Let me just do this." I went, "No." She put it on my back, and she ripped it off. I went, "Forget it." She went, "I've got to do the other side now." I said, "Forget it." Oh God, I let her do the other side. It's ridiculous. It's so painful, and I've hardly got any hairs on the back, right? So, it made me think of something that I'd heard about. There's a thing that you can do, and I don't know why, for people with really hairy backs, and people who are hairy all over, okay, called back, crack, and sack. They do your back, and there's some people that do look like little monkeys.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They do your back, they do your arse crack, and they do your balls.
Oh.
In that order.
Again! Always a question that doesn't matter.
No, it does, because what I'm saying is it done from the top all the way down?
It's not done in one! What do you think? This is huge 30-foot Band-Aid type thing that you're wrapped in and then pulled. It's done a little bit at a time, isn't it?
Right, well, again, it still matters. Which order? Because if it hurts your back, it's definitely going to hurt the sack. That's what I'm saying. I think... What is it called? Back...
Crack and sack.
Or sack, crack and back?
No, it's called back, crack... I don't know. It's probably a marketing person said we've got to do it in order.
You could probably choose which order you want them in, Karl.
It's back, crack and sack.
It should be sack. Sack, crack, back. Definitely. It should be sold like that.
Why?
Because, like I say, if you're lying there, look, you've had half of your back done. If you went, "Oh, forget it," right? There is no way you're gonna have the sack done. Is it?
No. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have the crack and sack done anyway.
I don't know why people
I'm not
are
gonna
doing
have a back down. It doesn't need doing.
Where are people going where they've got to worry about the condition of the sack? At what event do you go to and you go, well, I've got to look sharp. I've got to look the part today.
I don't know.
On the sack bag.
Nudists?
No, because they're about being natural and that, innit? Normally they are airy, like that woman on holiday.
Yeah, the women are, the men aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, they all are sort of pretty airy. They believe in just leaving the body as it is.
I think little gay fellas love it, don't they?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
I don't know. If you're a little gay fella and you've had it done.
Yeah, text in.
Just text in. What's the text thing?
83 XFM. Just text in. You know, tell us what. I don't know. Is there any information that we're missing? Is it painful? I assume so.
Of course it is.
Why did you get it done? That's the question. Why did you get it done?
Yeah.
Why is it important to have a hairless arse? Johnson on XFM. Carl.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking briefly earlier about something that you'd been reading.
Well, it's just that you're always having a go at me, saying, you know, you're never happy.
True.
You know, what cheers you up? What's the best thing that can happen for you and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, sorry, I've never said to you what's the best thing that can happen for you.
No, but
I'm
like
trying to encourage you.
Steve's, and you have a bit. I've started reading more and I'm doing more science stuff, even though some of it does me head in. Like I say, knowledge is almost annoying. Right, knowing about that mammoth is
Think
annoying.
about being a quote.
Yeah.
Think that if I have seen furthers crossed on the shoulder of giants, we will fight them on the beaches. E equals MC squared. Knowledge is annoying.
Yeah.
That's an amazing one. Karl Pilkington, 2005.
No, but it can get you down, can't it?
Go on then.
Knowing stuff that's going on.
Yeah, knowing stuff. But sometimes
anyway.
I don't want to have stuff in my head. When I read a horrible story or someone tells me, I wish I didn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But at the same time, there was something in the paper about things to do before you die, and it was just stuff that I sort of looked at. I thought, don't want to do that. Cross that off. Not bothering with that. At number one, you always know what's at number one. It's the same thing every time.
Swim with dolphins.
Yeah. Don't know why. Do you want to do that?
What's going on down there that it's so good? What do we not know about?
I mean, yeah, it'd be fun. I'd love to sort of encounter most animals, to be honest. I mean, there's be a few animals on the top of the list. I'd rather hang out with a bunch of chimps.
I wonder if it's.
love that.
I wonder if it's you're down there with dolphins and you're swimming with them, and then they sort of they click away, they click,
And they tell you a secret.
you go into they lead you into a cave, right? But down there, it's like being at like Rolling Stones' house in the 1970s. It's
They're
like berserk.
smoking.
There's drink, there's women,
Yeah,
there's
don't
Mars
tell 'em.
bars. There's like
They're eating tuna. They're loving tuna.
they love it, but they can speak. They go, "Oh, this clicking stuff, it's nonsense." We're
Yeah.
a wild time, then they go berserk, go crazy. It's 24 hours of non-stop debauchery,
I think it's spiritual,
but
isn't
never
it?
mention it to anyone else.
It's incredible because you know they're so intelligent, and you know. Do you know about dolphins though? That how intelligent they are.
Well, people keep saying that, but what have they done? You know what I mean? Why? What has someone done that they've gone? They spoke. You know, I've read a book by a dolphin or whatever. What have they done? That makes them so bright. It's the same way they go. You know, they look after you, they save you, and that. There's got to be one bad 'un in that bunch.
Of course they. Sorry, I wasn't suggesting they're all flipper. I'm not just they're constantly going round the oceans trying to save people. I mean, they're intelligent, you know.
In what way?
What do you mean, in what way?
Well, what do
you mean, why do, because
why
they
do
pass
people keep
tests,
saying they're bright?
because of the things they can achieve and learn.
Like
and,
what?
And, well, they can tell shapes, objects, colours. Sorry, Carl, I mean, they're no match for you. They're not as clever as you. They're way down this, that. But it's all relative, isn't it? For a non-human, they're doing okay. They're up there with chimps, you know.
So what do you want to do before you die? Any achievements you want to have?
Well, if I'm ill, I'd prefer to go to the doctors than to go with the dolphins.
Yeah.
Why are you suddenly ill? It's not, when they say things to do before you die, they don't literally mean the day before.
They mean
you croak it.
that you want to experience life. You can do it over the next 20
Is
years.
that what you thought you meant? Like, literally
Is
the
that
24
what you
hours
meant?
before
Like
you
a
die?
priest there going, give me the lift. What is it, Grandad? Dolphins. You know, no fit state, Grandad. Get me in the water. Get me down to Brighton. What do you think that list means?
Well, yeah, that, you know, before you die.
You're incredible, Carl.
Amazing.
You're all this time.
Things to do before you die.
That's why he doesn't want to do any of them.
Didn't you think it was a bit extraordinary that you
So
had to
what
try
you-
and swim with dolphins and visit Disneyland
Well,
and climb Mount
That's
Kilimanjaro
why I
all in
was
the same
saying to you,
afternoon?
That's why I said to you. I would be in no mood for a dip.
That's incredible! Always a new twist on things. Always a new twist on things.
But you say about travelling and that, you like travelling and stuff, but why?
Because I've seen and experienced extraordinary things. You know, I went to Kenya once. I met a man who was a vigilante. He was cleaning up his neighbourhood because the police were too corrupt to do it. Carried a sword, and you know, he was extraordinary. He'd been attacked, but he didn't care. He fought them off. He was trying in this little slum area to try and instill some law and order. He had to arrest his brother-in-law once. It was a fascinating story, and he was an extraordinary man.
I went to Manchester and I saw two lads with big heads and webbed feet looking at a house. There was a horse in the living room. I mean,
That's living.
Leave it then. Listen, I didn't realise it's like 7 minutes to, right?
Well, come on then.
Well, let's do Rockbusters,
Yeah, do Rockbusters. And you got monkey news.
Well, we'll see if we've got time.
No, we got to do monkey news.
Right, listen though, Justin, if he's out in the office...
Oh, look, just quick, do the
Right, listen,
Rockbusters answers then.
Have you got a winner?
No, I don't even know the answers,
we'll
do I?
pick one. Alright then, the first one, right?
it's
I just got
chaos.
the plastic cup.
Right, the first one was, when I'm ill,
Yeah,
I throw up horse food. Right?
yeah.
That's the clue. The initials were IH.
I got
Right?
this one.
And that
I must
was,
say, too.
that was I sick haze, because when you're ill, you're sick. What do horses eat? They eat hay. I sick haze. I sick haze is the answer. You got that. Second one, that garden tool you've got, it's not yours. What you doing with it? Right? ND.
That was different.
That was what's a garden tool? A rake. Right? If it's not yours, what have you done? You've nicked it. You've nicked Drake. You've nicked that rake. Nick Drake. Nick Rake. Right? So that's ND. You got that.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
The third one, that male sheep sounds well fed up.
Go on.
What's up with it? That was TR. That was that ram. It's a ram. That's a male sheep. It's fed up. It's moaning. Ram moans. Ramones. The Ramones. So they got that as well.
Let's give it to Jenny McKean from Isle of Wight, because she's got all three of those answers, and,
Right, straight on to monkey news. They better be
No,
better
let's
than
play a
that.
record. We've got to play a record and
We've
have
got to
monkey
do
news.
monkey news. It's only 5 minutes to go.
We've got time for a record and then some monkey news, surely.
Oh,
Bit of XTC.
For Nigel XTC. Okay, let's play the jingle.
oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. This happened in Pittsburgh. Right. There was a rock band. And they've got this studio in Pittsburgh and what have you, and they're laying down tracks and stuff like that. And in the studio that they use, right, there's this monkey works there. Right,
I love the way he throws that in. Like he throws that in. This monkey works there.
no, it's just got a little gig there. He sort of it carries the equipment in, guitars, stuff like that.
It doesn't.
He does.
No, it doesn't.
He just sort of cleans up after the band.
No, he doesn't.
Emptying the ashtrays.
Doesn't
that sort of
happen.
stuff. It
Doesn't
does.
happen.
That's the gig it's got. Anyway, right.
Gets women out of the crowd that they want to go visit with.
With one arm.
Drags them back.
So anyway, right, so the band's in the studio, right, and one of the band members brings some A&R fella to the studio to have a listen to the latest track, right?
Yeah.
So they hit play, and they're all there going, yeah, brilliant, this is good.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so the fella says, yeah, I like the track, I especially like the bass on it, right?
Right, this is bullshit.
So
This is rubbish.
So
And they hadn't laid down a bass track?
So this is, have you heard it? So
Carl,
the weird
please
thing
don't
is,
do this
right,
to
so
me.
the A&R fella goes, and
Yeah.
it's like, the band members are stood about, and they're going, that's good that you liked it. And they're saying, yeah, but what's he on about with the bass? So they played it
No,
back.
this is rubbish. This is absolute rubbish. Where did you get this from?
Please, because we never get
Where
to the
did
end.
you
Let's
get
hear it,
this?
let's
Is
hear it.
absolute nonsense.
So they played it back.
Yeah,
right?
and it's the chimp playing bass. Definitely not.
So they were like, that's weird, we haven't got a bassist. Anyway, so they go, well, whatever, right? So
We
they
haven't
leave.
got a bassist.
So
They go, whatever, let's go home.
forget it.